September 15, 1944, Camp Hearne, Texas. The sun hangs low, a copper coin pressed against a sky bleached white by heat. Dust devils spin across the parade ground as olive-drab trucks growl to a halt. Gates swing open. Boots hit gravel. 64 women step down. Wehrmachthelferinnen, Luftwaffe signals auxiliaries captured in Tunisia and Italy. Their gray-blue uniforms are salt-stiff from the Atlantic crossing, hair matted beneath crumpled caps. Eyes dart, barbed wire, watchtowers, rifles. Propaganda films loop in their minds. American camps as death mills. A sergeant barks in German-accented English. Line up, processing. They shuffle forward, shoulders touching, breath shallow. The air smells of creosote and distant cattle. At the head of the line, a young GI, Private First Class Raymond Ortiz, San Antonio, lifts a wooden crate. He pulls out bars of Ivory soap, still in waxy paper, and folds of clean towels. Steam rises from a portable shower rig behind him. He offers the first bar. Helga Müller, 22, ex-teleprinter operator from Berlin, stares. Her cracked lips part. No shouts, no searches. Just soap. The crate passes hand to hand. A collective inhale. Someone whispers, "Sie waschen uns." We mention. They wash us. Like humans. In that moment, the war tilts. To understand that single bar of soap, travel back 5 years. September 1st, 1939. German panzers cross the Polish frontier at dawn. Blitzkrieg tears across Europe. France falls in 6 weeks. Britain stands alone. By 1941, the Wehrmacht needs every hand. Women flood recruitment offices. The Luftwaffe creates the Luftwaffe-Helferinnen Corps, signals auxiliaries. No rifles, no trenches. Instead, headsets, teleprinters, radar screens. Berlin, spring 1942. Helga Müller, our teleprinter operator, joins at 19. She learns Morse, intercepts RAF chatter, plots bomber streams on glass maps. Her unit deploys to Tunisia. November 1942. Rommel's Africa Corps is already retreating. Across the Mediterranean, America wakes. Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941. Roosevelt declares war. Operation Torch lands 107,000 GIs in Morocco and Algeria, November 8, 1942. The desert becomes a crucible, El Alamein, October 23, November 11, 1942. Montgomery's 8th Army smashes the Panzer Army Africa. Rommel cables Berlin. Strength exhausted. Tunisia, February 1943. Kasserine Pass. Green American troops reel under Stukas and 88s, yet they learn fast. By May, Axis forces, 270,000 men, surrender. Among them, 74 female signals auxiliaries. The women expect the worst. Goebbels' radio screams of Jewish Bolshevik terror. They clutch dog tags, whisper prayers. Instead, GIs offer cigarettes. Medics treat dysentery. The Geneva Convention, signed 1929, binds the United States. Article 3, Humane Treatment. Article 21, Hygiene Facilities. Washington plans ahead. By 1943, 4 I-25 camps rise across 45 states. Texas gets 23. Camp Hearne, former CCC site near the Brazos River, breaks ground in January 1943. Barbed wire, tar paper barracks, mess halls for $5,000. Prisoners arrive by the trainload. First Germans, U-boat crews, June 1943. Then Afrikaners. Now women. The Atlantic crossing is grim. Liberty ships, holds converted to berths. Red Cross parcels, spam, chocolate, soap, foreshadowing. New York Harbor, September 1st, 1944. The women disembark under floodlights. MPs herd them to trains. Windows blacked out. 3 days southbound. Somewhere in Arkansas, the blinds lift. Cotton fields roll past. Children wave. A colored porter slips them Coca-Cola, Texas, September 14th. Hearne siding. Heat shimmers off rails. The women detrain, legs stiff. Dust coats their boots. They do not yet know the camp's commander. Colonel John A. Renfro, has ordered female quarters separate. Barrack Block F, latrines with doors. Red Cross matrons, nor do they know the delousing station awaits. Not Zyklon B, but DDT powder and hot showers. The war has brought them here. The next hours will decide what enemy means. The train brakes. Hiss. September 14, 1944. Hearne, Texas. The women, 64 in total, form columns under floodlights. MPs count heads. A Red Cross nurse, Captain Margaret Hayes, steps forward with clipboards. She speaks halting German. Willkommen. You are safe. Barrack Block F stands ready. Pine boards still smell fresh. Bunks in tiers, straw mattresses, army blankets. A stove glows at one end. Latrines, porcelain sinks, hot water piped from a central boiler. Colonel Renfro briefs his staff that morning. These are auxiliaries, not combat troops. Treat them as the convention demands. Soap, towels, sanitary supplies. Issue double. The U.S. Army's Prisoner of War Division has rehearsed this. By 1944, 378,000 Germans fill American camps. Labor shortages bite home. POWs pick cotton, harvest peanuts, paid 80 cents a day in scrip. Female prisoners are rare. Only 200 ever reach the States. Most come from the Africa Corps signals companies. Women who tracked Allied convoys, relayed Rommel's orders. Their capture in May 1943 blinds the Luftwaffe over Sicily. On the USS Monticello, the women crossed in convoy UGS-52. Below decks, hammocks, portholes sealed. Daily rations, corned beef, hardtack, condensed milk. A Navy doctor treats seasickness with Dramamine. New drug, 1944. No abuse. Geneva Inspectors Board at Norfolk. Swiss delegates photograph clean holds. Now, Texas soil, underfoot. The women clutch small bundles. One change of underwear, a photo, a diary. Helga Müller fingers a silver locket. Her mother's. A GI truck backs up. Red Cross crates unload. 128 bars of ivory, 64 towels, combs, tooth powder. Labels read, "Donated by the American people." The processing tent flaps in the breeze. Inside, folding tables, typewriters, fingerprint ink. A WAC corporal smiles. Name, rank, next of kin? Outside, the camp orchestra, German POW musicians, strikes up a waltz. Violins saw Lily Marlene. The women freeze. The same song crackled over Tunisian radios 2 years ago. Tears streak dust on cheeks. Night falls. Lights dim at 2200. In Block F, whispers rise. They gave us soap, one says. Real soap. Another, tomorrow we shower. With hot water. Sleep comes uneasy. Dreams mix desert sand with Texas stars. The next morning, the line forms. The moment approaches. Helga Müller clutches her locket tighter. 22 years old. Berlin typist turned signals operator. In Tunisia, she slept under canvas, sand in her teeth, decoding Allied convoys by lamplight. Capture came May 12, 1943, near Bizerta. GIs surrounded the bunker. Hands up. No shots fired. Now, in Texas, fear gnaws. Propaganda reels showed American gangs, lynchings. She expects bayonets, starvation. Instead, a WAC offers coffee. Real coffee. Helga's hands shake as she sips. Her bunkmate, Annalisa Kraus, 24, from Hamburg, whispers memories. Remember the sirens? The bombs? They bonded in captivity, sharing Red Cross chocolate on the ship. Annalisa lost a brother at Stalingrad. Grief binds them. Declassified interviews, 1946. Helga recalls, "We were dirty, ashamed. They saw us as people. Resilience shines. Some women faint from heat. Medics revive them with salt tablets. No slaps, no screams. Their eyes, wide, wary, scan faces. Young GIs, farm boys mostly, avert gazes out of respect. One slips Annalisa a Hershey bar. For the kid, he says, nodding at her swollen belly. Pregnant from a brief shore leave. Humanity flickers. Tactical angle. Those 74 women crippled Rommel's eyes. In Tunisia, they manned Funkhorch listening posts. intercepting 8th Army radio nets. Headsets clamped, they plotted Montgomery's advances on grease boards. May 7, 1943. Anfidaville line cracks. Women burn codes, smash Enigma rotors. Too late. GIs seize intact teleprinters. Cipher books. U.S. Signal Corps analysts pore over captures. One logbook reveals Luftwaffe call signs. Overnight, Allied bombers evade flak. Sicily landings, July 10, 1943, Operation Husky, face-blinded defenses. At Camp Hearne, interrogators probe gently. Draw your antenna layout. Helga complies, earning extra cigarettes. Intelligence gold. Tactically, their absence shortens the war in the Mediterranean. Axis communications fracture. Rommel, evacuated sick, never recovers command. From desert bunkers to Texas barbed wire, their capture tips scales. The women's tools were Germany's ears. In Tunisian dugouts, they hunched over tornister funk-durate radios, backpack sets weighing 15 kilograms, antennas strung between palms. They tuned to 4.2 megahertz, snaring RAF bomber frequencies. Enigma machines clicked beside them. Not the naval four-rotor beasts, but three-rotor Hears variants for tactical nets. Helga fed cipher tapes, rotors spinning like prayer wheels. One intercepted message. Convoy PQ-17 scattered. Capture yields treasures. GIs bag a Schlüsselgerät 41. Compact cipher device. Precursor to fish codes. U.S. cryptologists at Arlington Hall crack it within weeks. At Hearne, the women sketch diagrams on butcher paper. Show us the dipoles, interrogators ask. Sketches reveal beam antennas that jammed Malta radars. This tech transfer accelerates Allied signals dominance. By D-Day, June 6, 1944, Ultra intercepts flow unchecked. The soap moment? It washes away grime, but tech echoes reshape the war. Colonel Renfro paces his office. Map of Hearne pinned to pine walls. West Point 29, captured Italians under his belt. He cables Washington, females en route. Need matrons, sanitary kits. Approval swift. Provost Marshal General Archer Lurch mandates no fraternization, but dignity absolute. Renfro drills guards. Eyes forward. Hands off. Captain Hayes, Red Cross, arrives by jeep. Nursing diploma, fluent German from Milwaukee roots. She inspects barracks. Mosquito nets hung, floors swept. Renfro visits Block F daily. Any complaints? He asks through interpreter. None. His ledger notes. 64 towels issued, 128 soap bars. Leadership cascades. GIs follow suit. Private Ortiz, our soap bearer, volunteers extra shifts. My sister's age, he mutters. Goebbels's lies crumble with suds. Films warned of American savages. Reality. A towel, soft as surrender. POW diary. Annalisa Krauss, 1944. They gave us soap scented like flowers. I cried. For the first time, not from fear. U.S. motive pragmatic. Humane treatment ensures reciprocity. 300,000 GIs in German stalags. Geneva's mirror. Yet morality pierces. Guards share letters from home. One woman knits booties for a GI's newborn. Barriers blur. In that crate of ivory lies a question. Can kindness disarm hate? The processing line advances. Dawn breaks hot. The climax awaits. September 15, 1944. 600 hours. Camp Hearne. Reveille bugle cuts the dawn. Roosters answer from nearby farms. The 64 women rise, folding blankets with military precision. Stomachs knot. Captain Hayes assembles them outside Block F. Processing today. Showers first. Medical checks after. Her voice steady, German clear. They march in twos. Gravel crunching under worn boots. Past mail compounds where POWs pause raking leaves, staring silently. Whistles from guards keep order. The delousing tent looms. White canvas, 40 feet long. Steam vents hiss. Inside, rows of wooden benches. Hooks for uniforms. DDT cans line shelves. Powder to kill lice. not people. Helga Muller's pulse races. Memories flood. Tunisian field hospitals. Rough strip searches by Italian medics. She grips Annelise's hand. Line forms. 50 yards. Heat builds. Sweat beads under collars. A GI fans himself with a clipboard. Private Ortiz unloads crates. Ivory soap, 99% pure, floats in water. Towels, army issue, coarse but clean. He stacks them on a table, labels facing out. Colonel Renfro observes from afar. Binoculars lowered. Move them through quick, he radioed. No delays. First 10 enter. Doors flap shut. Water drums thunder. Outside whispers ripple. What if it's gas? One murmurs. Propaganda dies hard. Helga steps forward. Number 47. Her turn nears. The tent parts. A woman emerges, hair wet, face flushed. She clutches a towel like a trophy. Eyes wide. Hot water, she gasps. Real soap. The line surges. Breath held. The pivotal exchange begins. Helga crosses the threshold. Steam envelops her. 6 shower heads. Brass nozzles, pressure strong. Water scalds at first, then soothes. A wak hands her a bar. Ivory, wrapped in paper printed with a sailing ship. Lather up, she says softly. Helga unwraps. Scent blooms, clean, floral, American. She rubs it between palms. Suds foam, thick and white. Months of grime swirl down drains. Tunisian sand, ship salt, train soot. Gone. Annalisa beside her sobs quietly. I forgot what clean feels like. Water streams over her pregnant belly. Towels wait, folded, warm from the sun. Helga dries slowly, skin pink. A mirror on the wall. Her reflection, human again. Outside, Ortiz passes bars hand to hand. Here you go, ma'am. Respect in his tone. No leers. One woman, Greta Fischer, radar plotter from Bremen, drops her soap. It skitters. A GI kneels, retrieves it. Careful now. Silence breaks. Laughter bubbles. Nervous, then real. Helga steps out. Sunlight strikes wet hair. She inhales Texas air. Sweet with mesquite. The crate empties. 64 bars gone. 64 towels draped over shoulders. Renfro nods approval. Report filed. Hygiene processing complete. Morale high. Interrogations follow, but the edge blunts. Women speak freely. Antenna specs, code books. Trust earned in suds. By noon, the camp hums. Women in fresh jumpsuits. Dyed khaki. Red Cross issue. Hair combed. A turning point crystallizes. Enemy uniforms washed away. Not victory by bullets, but by basic decency. The war's psychology shifts. Whispers spread to male blocks. The Americans. They treat women like ladies. Defiance cracks. Some POWs request re-education classes. Others sketch camp newspapers, cartoons of soap bubbles. That afternoon, Helga writes in her diary, "Today, we were stunned. A towel changed everything." The moment echoes. From Hearne's dust, ripples reach Berlin. Aftermath unfolds in the months ahead. Continue to Section 1 of Aftermath? Yes. Days blur into routine. Barrack Block F settles. Wake at 0600. Breakfast, oatmeal, real eggs, coffee. Work details assign. Women sew uniforms in the camp tailor shop. 80 cents script daily. Others tend victory gardens. Tomatoes, okras. Soil black, fertile, medical tent busy. Pregnancies monitored. Annalisa delivers a boy, December 1944. Named him Carl, after her father. GI pediatrician assists. Cultural exchanges spark. Saturday films, Hollywood westerns. Women laugh at John Wayne. In return, they teach folk songs. Du liegst mir im Herzen. Guards hum along, fraternization band, but letters slip. A GI from Wisconsin sends yarn. Helga knits scarves. Casualties, 0 from abuse. One appendicitis, operated successfully at Bryan Hospital. Psychological shift deepens. Interrogators note, cooperation 90%. Women translate Luftwaffe manuals. One decodes a backlog, shortening Pacific intercepts. Christmas 1944. Red Cross tree in the mess hall. Ornaments from foil. Gifts, lipstick, stationery. Helga receives a parcel forwarded from home. Inside, a photo, bombed out Berlin street. Reality intrudes, yet hope stirs. VE Day rumors swirl. The camp orchestra plays Beethoven. Women dance, careful, supervised. By spring 1945, repatriation lists form. The soap's legacy lingers in clean skin and clearer minds. Continue to Section 2 of Aftermath? Yes, May 8, 1945. VE Day. Church bells echo from Hearne town. POWs cheer. War over in Europe. Repatriation accelerates. First ships sail June. Women board trains north. New York, then Southampton. Helga's group, July 15, 1945. Hugs goodbye. Captain Hayes slips extra soap. For the road. Atlantic homeward. Holds cleaner. Rations better. Victory surplus. Germany, August 1945. Disembark Bremen. Rubble landscapes. Families scattered. Helga finds her mother in a DP camp. Embrace amid ruins. They treated you well? Yes. Post-war interviews. 1950s. Annalisa to Stars and Stripes. The towels? They showed us Americans weren't monsters. Strategic win, U.S. POW program. 425,000 held. Only 1% escaped. Reciprocity saves thousands of GIs. Camp Hearne closes 1946. Barracks dismantled. Cotton fields reclaim the land. Memoirs published. Kramer's book, 1979, Female Auxiliaries Returned Ambassadors of Goodwill. Some women emigrate. America. One marries a former guard. Numbers. 200 females total in U.S. camps. All survived. No abuses logged. The moments ripple. Cold War alliances. West Germany joins NATO. 1955. From stunned silence to stunned gratitude. History turns on small mercies. Shall I write the reflection now? Yes. Dust settles over Camp Hearne's grounds today. Museum plaques mark the spot. Barbed wire gone, but stories endure. That bar of soap, that folded towel. Weapons of a different war. Not steel, but humanity. In total war's machine, tanks, bombs, ideologies, a simple act pierced the veil. German women, drilled in superiority, confronted equality in a shower stall. It meant survival with dignity. For GIs, proof that rules matter. For history, a lesson in reciprocity. Treat enemies humanely. They may become allies. Post-war Europe rebuilds on such bridges. Marshall Plan aid flows. Former foes shake hands. Helga Müller, in her 1980s oral history. We learned hate was taught. Kindness was real. Warfare evolves. Drones, cyber. But the core remains. People. In every conflict, seek the towel moment. Offer it. Receive it. Humanity's flicker outshines the darkest night. The Texas sun sets. The gate closes. But the door to understanding opens wide. Fade to black.